Suppose you're going to paint this 53 Buick, and you're thinking about just painting over the color that's already on here. Something you have to know before you do that is how much material is on here. If you got 8 or 10 mils of paint on here, and you paint over top of it, it's a good possibility you're going to end up with a cracking condition later on, maybe 6 months, a year down the road. So one way to determine that is take it to a body shop somewhere. Not all the body shops have gauges like this, but a lot of them do. This actually measures the thickness of the paint. It won't measure over body filler, it won't measure over lead, but just check the majority of the car. We'll check this door here. Set it up against the car. It's got 4.4 mils of paint on it. It's no problem to paint over this car. By the time you sand this down, take all the imperfections out, you could paint over top of this car. Most of the cars that we painted in our business, we took them all apart. We took moldings and everything off. But say you didn't want to do that. The last guy that painted this car, he did a terrible job of masking here. You look down in this crack and you can see where he actually bridged the paint to the molding. What you need to do is take your tape, kind of run it up on the metal just a little bit, not much. Take a razor blade and just get down in there and cut it off like so. Take your fingernail or a tool or something and get down in there. There's absolutely no bridge here of the tape to the paint. Then you can either mask off the molding, or if you were just painting the upper section of it, just come right across with your paper. Another thing I want to point out to you too, a lot of times when you do these jobs, what really makes them look nice is maybe new rubber gaskets around here. Somebody masked this off, and part of the gasket's painted, part of it isn't. We got an area here where they didn't mask off properly. You got overspray on this little chrome edge, plus on the glass. That really makes for a lousy looking job. I've got a tip here for you. You know, this is an expensive gauge, and maybe you don't want to fool with the body shop. They make something like this. It's a lot cheaper. This thing costs about $500. This here one's $44.95. You'll find a lot of tool suppliers listed in the car magazines, and a lot of them sell this kind of tool. This paint gauge here is not as accurate as this one here, but it'll do the job. You might want to use that even as you redo your car, and you spray primer on it and more primer and so forth to check the buildup, to make sure you don't end up with just too much buildup, even starting from bare metal. So I would look in the old car magazines, and for $44 or $45, buy one. They're well worth it.